Hey, 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 beautiful heart, what's vibin'? Dr. Danae here to do today's collective reading. Let's see what we've got going on. All right. First card out is action. All right. Wisdom. And we'll grab one more. Boundaries. Wow. Interesting. So, yeah. I have had to get very firm in my boundaries as of lately. And not everybody's happy about it, but you know what? I don't care. They're my boundaries. So some of you may be feeling that, and here's the thing about boundaries. When you are on this journey and you start to set boundaries for yourself, the people who will get upset, because trust me, they will get upset, are the people that, for their own reasons, there's no judgment, but they're being triggered because you're changing. You're not allowing things that you used to allow, and that triggers their ego. When people are on this path with you doing the work, they don't get triggered by the boundaries because they understand and they're setting some for themselves. Boundaries are not necessarily about well, they're not about punishing other people, and it's not, well, you did this, so I'm doing this. Boundaries are about you, what you are allowing in your life, what works for you, how you want to interact with people based on, however it can be about however they are. But in truth, this is literally about, what do you accept? What is okay in your life? How much of yourself, there we go. How much of yourself are you willing to pour out or accept from others? And that's what this is. And many of us have issues with boundaries, especially depending on how we grew up, and our different experiences. And a lot of times we can feel that boundaries are a negative, but they're not. They are very much needed, and they could be placed in love. Now, when people get upset about those boundaries, see how she's still kind of in that bubble? She's like, yep, okay. I'm not dissing you. I'm not doing anything. I'm staying in my bubble. This is my zone. This is what I need to do for me. You do not need to explain to anybody what you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's the part that a lot of people have issue with, again, based on how we grew up and what our experiences were. Many of us weren't taught that having boundaries is safe, and that no is a complete sentence, and that you don't have to explain to everybody why, and that you are not responsible for how others take your responses, take your boundaries. That's where it could be a little sticky. So with this coming out in this way, starting with action and wisdom, when you are taking action in your life, whether it's the inner work, the outer work, or whatever, but you're taking action to better yourself, to change, to heal, you do call in and tap into wisdom. You start seeing things differently. And I promise you, those that are attached to your energy that maybe aren't willing to do the work at the level you're doing it now or what have you, This is where the boundaries come in, and you need to use wisdom. And again, these boundaries aren't punishment. They are more of setting an energetic protection around that, hey, this is what I'm accepting. This is what I'm willing to do or give. Anything outside of this is outside of my boundaries, and that's going to be an absolute no. And those people that continue to try to push those boundaries or get you to lower those boundaries for whatever reason, that's where this wisdom and action comes in. You may need to make different decisions. This is a general reading, you guys. So it'll be different. It can be different for everybody. The storylines are different. The experiences are different. This isn't a personal reading. So take it, if it resonates, take the energy how it is and put it where you need to. But you are gaining wisdom. And action, again, this will be different for each of you. But for those of you that might be going through this where people are trying to push your boundaries, or they're upset because you put up boundaries, and they'll try to guilt you, they'll try to manipulate you, all these different things. And again, this is where that no judgment comes in, because all of those human habits that they are trying to project to you come from altered ego. Essentially, they are coming from a place that you are trying to leave behind and set boundaries up so that your altered ego doesn't self-sabotage or trip you up anymore. They're just not there yet. That's okay. They may or they may not get there. Not everybody is meant to be on this journey with you. Everybody has a purpose in our lives, but it's not always forever. This journey, as you're finding out, you can't talk to most people about it, because it's a singular type of journey. It's you with you. And everybody, and here's the thing. This is what the Matrix doesn't teach. We're seeing it going on out in the mass right now hugely. There's no respect for other people's beliefs. There's no honor or respect for people. And that's sad, because you know what? Everybody deserves to be respected for their beliefs. We don't have to agree with their beliefs. You don't have to agree. You don't even have to like it. But you don't have the right to tell somebody else they're wrong. If they, whatever their stance is or whatever, that's their journey to walk. That's their journey to find out. Your journey is for you. But we do need to come from respect and honor for everybody else's beliefs. And sometimes that literally is just, you know what? I don't resonate with that, or I don't believe that. But I respect that you do. This is a conversation I'm not willing to have. You know what? Again, going back to those boundaries. And there are other people that you will need to walk away from, that they are on your path to distract you, to hold you back. But you need to gain that wisdom to know. Taking that action, doing the inner work, talking to yourselves, looking, doing shadow, all of that comes into play. All right, so let's pop into the story here. Excuse me, guys. Oh, it is super early here. All right, what's the story? We've got the Hangman in reverse. We have the Eight of Swords, Eight of Cups reversed, Four of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords reversed. Okay, So someone here is starting to see things from a different perspective. Coming out of this, this energy, again, I think you've gained some wisdom. I really do. And that wisdom is now changing the way that you have been seeing things. Yes, when we go through this altered ego and monkey mind, will throw out at us all the old limiting beliefs, all the old experiences and things like that to keep us stuck and to get us confused. Remember, monkey mind and altered ego love to be in the land of hurt, pain, and confusion. And when it acts out, this is how we get. We shut down. We put ourselves into a self-imposed prison. We can't hear what is being said. We can't see what is going on because we're coming from a place where altered ego inside is like, I need to be right. I need to be right. I got to do this. I got, whatever it is. And it is very aggressive at that point. So there is something, this isn't anything new. This is not a reading that's like, oh, I never saw that coming. I didn't know that about this person. No, this is more of a confirmation. There is somebody, something, whether it's a person, place, thing, what have you, that you need to walk away from, but you haven't. You've been on the fence going back and forth with it. And that's going to tie right back to what I was saying in the beginning about these boundaries. Especially if people and yourself, if you are healing from codependency, or you've been attached to people that are codependent, or you've been an enabler, or you have taken on that, you feel responsible for others. That's the energy that you're gaining insight on, that you are taking action and that you need to be walking away from in a healthy way. But altered ego is, these swords to me are, all of those different monkey mind thoughts. Like I was just saying, that feeling responsible for other people, feeling like you need to make them understand or whatever. For whoever I'm talking to that this is resonating with, and you're still with me, you are reprogramming your foundation. Your foundation was one where altered ego had the keys to your sports car. And it has been driving the whole time. But there is still something holding on. Like when I look at this, I feel like you are walking away from something, but then there's like something grabbing your ankle and wanting to pull you back. So that's part of the battle. That's not the main part of the story. That really is just, hey, this is where you've been. This is the residual that's still trying to hold on. But keep going because you are rebuilding this new foundation. This Nine of Pentacles, it is a solitary card. It's a solitary energy. Remember how I talked about there's times on this path that you and only you can walk it. You cannot take anybody with you. As you walk that path, manifestations start coming in. I see these pentacles as the seeds that you have planted in the past, that you are now catching up to. A false belief is that when we set an intention and we want to manifest something and it doesn't show up, that we've done something wrong, we're not worthy, all of that. No, the universe goes into action. It's us that needs to level up. There are things we need to walk away from, things that we are not supposed to be thinking about anymore, not supposed to be putting energy into. When we're doing that, when we are walking away and not focusing on the past, we are moving towards the future. We are becoming in alignment with all of the things we want to manifest. And when you become in alignment, you're in the flow. That's when you're a vibrational match for the newness and what you want. That's when it comes in. And I say all this because we have the Three of Swords here. You are no longer allowing the old heartbreak, pain, hurt to rule you like you used to. You're not waiting for closure. You're not waiting for the conversation or anything. I feel like you're moving in silence. I feel like you're just like, no, you know what? I'm my own hero. I'm what I've been looking for in other people. Nobody's coming in to rescue me. I have to do this myself. There will be people on your path. The teacher, the master will always appear when you are ready. All right. I do feel that this energy here is tied into looking back, and you may be having empathy or compassion for these people, but you have to ask yourself, is it compassion or is it empathy? Because those are two completely different things. Empathy pulls you down into that vibration. Compassion really says, you know, I understand, I see where you're at, I've been there, and maybe you haven't been there, but you can understand the hurt and pain, but you're not lowering your vibration and getting in it and trying to help or fix it. You're holding that higher knowledge, that wisdom. It's time to release negativity. Absolutely. That's, for many of you, that's what you need to walk away from, that negative mindset, that resentment, that, well, she did this, she did that, oh my God, I can't believe she acted this way, blah, blah, all of that. That's all rooted in negativity and judgment, guilt, blame, and shame. And you know what? It's not affecting whoever you're saying that about. Whoever you're saying that about or feeling that, they're already leveling up. Look at that. Now my throat chakra is acting up. Somebody needs to hear this message. Okay. So for those of you that are in that energy and going around gossiping to other people about what this person is doing or not doing, which is setting up boundaries, not allowing you and altered ego and old habits of manipulation and control to rule them. They've set themselves free. But when we stay in that energy of, well, they did this, they did that, oh, look at them, you know, blah, 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 or whatever a story we're attached to and we're projecting out to them, it only stops you. That energy puts you here. They're moving forward and this other energy is stuck. Have faith in your dreams. Make sure, you know, guys, on this path, and I know when it's real tough, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like we can make it. We doubt our abilities. But you know what? You are the only one in control of your thoughts and feelings. And I know right now it may not feel like you're in control. This is where action and wisdom comes in. You learn how to deal with yourself. You learn how to change your words. You learn how to see things in a more positive way. I spoke yesterday to my membership group, and I gave them an acronym. And this acronym is something that has also helped me tremendously. And it's Q-tip. What does Q-tip mean? Quit taking it personally. For those of you that are in that lower vibrational energy I was talking about, sitting there just wanting to talk about what this person isn't doing for you, or this, that, and the other, and you're in offense and hurt and yada, yada, and shit's happening in your life like a boomerang while they're going off and upgrading or what have you, and you're kind of left behind, ask yourself, are you Q-tipping it? Why did you take it personally? Because it's not personal. It has nothing to do with you as a person, but it had everything to do with the energy and the behavior. And, you know, for a long time, we confuse energy and behavior and personality with the true being of somebody. And that in itself is a limiting belief, because a personality, altered ego is in control of the personality. That's where it's developed. Personality isn't necessarily the truth of somebody. Let that sink in. But what I'm saying is, somebody here is taking something personal. It's not personal. When we're on this journey of awakening, we get really tender and raw, and we take offense to everything, and we take it personal. That's the energy that you need to take action on and employ that wisdom. Set that boundary up. And even if it's just for you to set the boundary around yourself, not to take things personal. What people say, do, whatever, don't take it personal, because everybody is fighting a battle you can't see. All of us are going through stuff. And we can only relate to others at the level that we have emotionally related to ourselves. Healing old wounds. Absolutely. That's what this whole cycle is. Especially with Chiron now in retrograde for the next 5 months. That'll end in winter time. We've got winter here. But Chiron is the wounded healer. We are going through, this is a divine opportunity. You guys hear me talk about the do. The divine opportunity comes through that negativity when we shift the mindset, add wisdom, take action, put in the boundaries. We can then look at the old wounds and separate ourselves from them and allow those to flow. We don't have to relive them. But the inner healing, it's a journey all into itself. It will be the toughest thing you walk through and that you do. But it will be the most rewarding. Counsel and therapy. Some of you may need to, whether it's a therapist, a counselor, a coach, what have you. If you are wanting positive change and you feel yourself kind of in that negativity cycle, but you know you're on that verge of a breakthrough, but you just can't see it, reach out. We all need others at certain times on this path, but just make sure that when you're seeking somebody to help, you're not looking behind you or below you. And that's not a dig to anybody. This is, again, I'm talking energy. You cannot get counsel and therapy from somebody who hasn't already overcome where you're at. Never go down to be raised up with somebody else. You want to find somebody who has already walked the path. They are at a place that you want to be at. Those people will never gossip about you, judge you, hold you down, or anything. They can see the pitfalls, the blind spots that you can't see because you're still in that. They are the ones that, if you are open and willing to detach from the story and Q-tip Quit taking things personally and really look at yourself. They will help you bring in that positive change, and quickly. It's always about you. It's not about whether, they said the right things or their course did this or whatever. It's about you. No matter what level you're at, there is always a nugget of positivity and growth that you can take. Sometimes you have to dig a bit deeper to find it, but it's there. All right, beautiful heart. I hope this helped. As always, I am sending you oceans and oceans of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. Bye-bye.